Hi all, Jean here. How is everybody doing this evening? If you're new to my channel, my name is Jean Roberts. I am originally from an island in the Caribbean, Grenada, but live in Canada, Alberta, Kenmo. It's a whole mouthful, my friend. So if you're here, it means that you're here for it. And if you're not, then I am so sorry because I just, do the best content out there on these YouTube streets. So where are we at today? I'm just coming out from ceremony. I spend the whole day in ceremony, and what that means is that I go from time to time in ceremony where I get to sing and pray and be in community with like-minded people, and also clear my aura and my vibration, and pray for the world actually, and for the people that I like, and for my friends and my family. So that's it. It's like church, but not exactly. It's not church at all. Like nothing like church, because they hardly ever sit in circle in church. But I digress. So if you go to church, I this is not an offense. Don't take it as if it is. I am just happy that you're going somewhere where you can actually um, spend some time, doing something outside of your daily schedule, outside of your day-to-day schedule, so to speak. So I do go to ceremony quite often, but and you would hear me mentioning it from time to time. But today I am on the street of I'm on a streak. I think I want to be here for the rest of the year, just talking to you. Yes, you. I am in the process of, I'm on my journey to retirement, and what that means is that I am not going to retire for at least the next street of. Well, I am never going to retire. So let's just put this on the table, right? Whatever retirement is looking like, I am not going to do that, because retirement in our society means that when you're 65, and I think in Canada now it's when you're 67 years old, you get to leave your job, you go on a pension, and you have about $500,000 to $1 million in an account that can carry you for the rest of your life, right? So that means that if you're around 67, 65, 67, and you retire, you get in a pension, you get in your social security, and you also have about $1 million in a bank somewhere. I think that you might be able to live on that for at least um, 75, that would be, or 77, that would be like 10 years, and then 87, so that's 20 years, right? Let's say you're good for 30 years, because that's what we have left after, when we go on retirement. When we retire, we're looking at 20 years. And I mean, not working for 20 years is a long time, and some people would work as long as they can. For me, I want to work and be in service as long as I can. So what I know for myself on this journey to retirement, I cannot really look at the way society tells me that I have to retire. I cannot look at it that way, because obviously that is not going to work, because I don't have $1 million in any bank anywhere. And I don't have $500,000 either. I don't have $250,000 or $100,000 in any bank anywhere, right? So that alone does not really coincide the same as what you're being told to retire, or you can retire when you're 55 and you have freedom 55, through some form of insurance kind of a plan. Now, I like adventure, and I like learning. I always like having something to do. My mantra in life is having something to do, um, having, a community or someone to love, and having something to look forward to. So those are three things I actually live by in some form or the other. Always having something to do, having someone to love or some community to be in or to love in, and to have something to look forward to. So for me, for instance, this year, what I'm looking forward to is saving for my retirement plan, saving towards my retirement plan, creating a good emergency fund plan, and doing the things that brings me joy so that I can bring that with me into my retirement. And one of those things that bring me joy is sitting here and talking to you on these YouTube streets. So this is something that brings me joy, and I decide as a fun thing to do and as a fun job and a playful job, this is going to be my retirement plan. So basically, my journey to my retirement is having my side business on YouTube. And my side business is to talk to you, probably sell my book, um, maybe have you, call and talk to me, maybe sell a few things. But this is my, part of my strategy towards becoming, a senior citizen, to have my own space on this YouTube street. And I'm thinking, if I'm retiring, say, in 10 years from now, this is ideal because that means that if I stay here on this YouTube street, 10 years from now, I'm going to be somebody on this YouTube street. So give us a hand. Yay. Yay. Let's keep that in mind. I just find it's interesting that 10 years from now, I'm going to look back and I'm going to look at all these videos, and I'll see how I document my life and what was happening in my life at that time or that date, and have some fun with it with my grandchildren or my grandniece and nephews or whoever it is in my life at this time, right? I do have a lot of young friends. Almost all my friends is in their mid to late 40s. My husband is in his late 40s. Um, so all my people are really young people. So that shows that I have quite a young spirit. And, you know, and so I am chosen to have a very long and healthy life. And I know we have a fear of saying these things because we are like, let's knock on wood when the next shoes is going to drop. We cannot say that we could say that we want to be, we choosing to have a long and healthy life, and look into what that looks like. So for me, again, moving into this retirement, it means that I cannot look at it the cookie cutter way. I cannot look at my retirement the same way a middle aged white man might be able to look at his retirement, right? Especially if he's in corporate world, his retirement and my retirement is very different. As a matter of fact, in my world, in my culture, if I have one, I don't think I've ever heard, even my mother, who I think retired. She had lived in this country for many, 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 many years. And now she is living on the island in Grenada with my sister. And I never really heard my mother talk too much about retirement, or what she was going to do, how she was going to do it, what her plans are. And I think, too, it's a possibility there is, you know, um, when we don't have the option, we honestly have to hold ourselves with grace, because at this age, what I know now, if I knew that, at 50 or 40 or whenever, I probably would have been doing something different. But you and we have to give ourselves grace. We didn't know different, and this is the environment that we are living in. It doesn't mean because someone is 20 they're going to be having it all figured out. It's just not possible. We figure it out in hindsight, right? We figure it out when we are looking back at what it is. We may have some ideas and some plans for the future, but we don't. And it's the same as understanding that when you are beginning again, when you're starting over, you cannot start over by doing the same thing you were doing when you were in you were in your 20s. What worked in your 20 would not work in your 30s, and what worked in your 30s definitely is not going to work in your 40s. Vice versa for your 50s and your 60s. The same application do not apply, right? You are older, you know something different, you no longer fit into what a 20 or a 30-year-old look like, or mindset is either. You no longer fit into that. So you got to give yourself grace when you begin in, when you're starting over. And for me, for my retirement, it's not like I'm starting over. I'm not starting over. I'm actually just starting where I am at, right? I am starting where I'm at with the information that I have. And so what that looks like for me, um, I work 6 months out of the year, full time. My full time job is seasonal. And my full time job start at the end of this month, end of April, and it goes until the end of well, not the end of October, but it goes until October. So I have May, June, July, August, September, October, right? 6 months. Sometimes it's 5.5 months. But the bottom line is that's my schedule. My schedule is summer, and I only work in the summertime. And you may say, well, why don't you pick up a work in the wintertime? Well, let's see what is out there. Although I have I am a college graduate person, full on hotel management. So I know customer service, I know housekeeping, um, auditing, reservation, all the things that you do inside of these kind of construct, I have an idea how to do that. However, at this age right now, no one is going to hire me to put me on the front desk at this age. And, at this age, I'll be lucky to get a job at our regular Tim Horton place, right? I'll be lucky to get that job. Someone may or may not give me a cleaning job, but I don't, my hip and my back cannot handle cleaning anymore. So I have to, tap into my own resources and say, well, what can I do? The truth is, my voice is my asset. My voice is my purpose. My voice is my wheelhouse. You know me, you might tell me I talk too much, but my voice is what I have to use in this world. And hence, this is a platform that I can use my voice on. So why not utilize this and make this my side business, right? Or, work on and getting it wherever it needs to go. Taking the time. Everything takes time to build. There's no overnight success. And if there is one, let me know, right? If there is one that you know about, that you win the lottery, believe it or not, you've probably been playing the lottery 20 years to win the lottery, or 15 years. And if you win it the first time, that's what they call beginner's luck, right? And chances are you're going to lose it within 5 years of winning it, especially if you don't know what to do with your money. And we know about that because that is statistic. It has been shown that, that if I win the lottery, I know what to do with it. I have been learning a lot about money for many years. And so I welcome winning the lottery. Here is the thing. I don't play the lottery, so it would be impossible for me to win the lottery because I don't play the lottery. Yeah, catch 22, all the things. So getting back into this whole idea of, this retirement journey that I'm on, because I decide, to say that it is my retirement journey because that's where I'm at. That's what I'm on. It's not like I have a retirement plan. I do have something quite loosely, continue living and working here in Canada in my summer environment for at least the next 2 years. I don't even want to say three. I want to say the next 2 years to work as I'm working now. And in the winter time, when it's winter here, I think this year it's a possibility I would spend most of that winter in Grenada, enjoying the summer there, and continue doing my YouTube channel because I believe that that is going to help me build my channel if I show how I live in the Caribbean, right? That might be a part of helping me build this channel because I'm just building and working towards that. So that is part of my retirement journey. The other thing that I want to do is that, between now and the time that I'm 70, I want to be growing my own food. So I want to become a gardener. Yes, I want to be a gardener. I have a little piece of a land. I'm not without. I have some land. I have more than a lot of people. I have some land and I have a house building on that land. So I do have, you know, maybe, yes, those are the things that is have. The house is building. It's going to get done at some point. I don't know when yet. It's just a process that we're going through at this point. But that is going to get done for sure, because this YouTube street is going to help me with that. And I'm saying it today. Today is what, April? Uh, is it April 10th or April 11th? And it's April 11th, 2026. So I just wanted to say that so that I say that. So when I'm looking back, I know that I put this into existence, right? So yeah, I want to grow my own food, and I want to start growing my own food sooner than later. So I'm looking at maybe in the next 2 years to really start a garden and plant the things, and then maybe ask someone to help me in this garden that I'm going to start. So definitely, my plan is to grow my own food in the Caribbean when I go there. Um, when I go there in, between October to April, right? The winter season here is going to be when I go there. And I'll be here in the summer season when it's the summer season here. I didn't do that this year because I had a lot of other things to do and I wanted to get them done. So I stayed here, and I'm glad that I did. I'm just so happy that I did, because it showed me exactly the things that I need to do and how I need to get myself in a good retirement way. So for me, if I'm growing my own food, um, at least I want to grow 80% of my food. So if I'm growing 80% of my food, that means that I only have to buy 20% of, so that is going to save me a lot of money. And because I'm going to be living on my own land, and I'm not going to have really a mortgage, because the house we are billing it with cash as we go. We haven't taken a mortgage to bill it, right? I So that house is being built cash, so that way by the time I'm ready, I'm not going to have a mortgage, so I don't have to worry about paying a mortgage for my retirement. So that takes away housing, and that takes away food. So the two biggest thing that we do have to have in life, which is house and food, security. I think I have those two. I have a plan for both: grow my own food and live in a house that I don't have to pay rent or a mortgage in, and I just would have to pay what my light bill and my phone. And I think, you know at least what one of the things I'm going to do, if that come up, maybe is to put some solar system on my house as well, and kind of live a bit off grid. Or you know it's I wouldn't, I'll figure it out. I'll be able to have enough to pay my bills. I think there's, I guess I'm going to be on a pension as well, because I work in Canada my whole life. I guess I'm going to be so have some social security as well. Again, those things may or may not come into play. And but yeah, so with that, and with my additional side jobs that I would do, that would help a lot. So going into this, the retirement journey is, it's a real one, but there is no fear, because if you're here and you are definitely in a similar situation like myself, I can tell you, let's take this journey together, and let's start by you actually asking yourself, what does retirement mean to you, and how does it look for you? Like, do not get overwhelmed with thinking that, well, I must have that $1 million in my account, because sometimes I can think like that. I'm like, oh my God, who's going to look after me? And then there is that, there is like, when I get a certain age, who's going to look after me? Or when I get a certain age, if I'm sick, again, who is going to come in and look after me? For me, I have one kid. And well, I did marry a younger man. If he stick around, he's going to take care of me. If he doesn't stick around, neither here nor there. I have some other plans. I have some community that I have been a part of for many years, and those community would actually take me in really without, any kind of question. So I can go to some of those communities. Um, and that's why it's so important to build community and to build solid friendship, because in the end, if it's your friends that has to not necessarily take care of you, but come and be a part of your life, no matter what age you are. Then that's the thing. For me, I have built and have a community of friends that is so much younger than me, so much younger than me, and I am so fortunate about that. Right now I'm in a group of it's 7 women, and out of the seven, um, 5 of them is younger, like so much younger than I am. I'm in this other community where everybody, as I say, I mentioned, is in their 40s, and that is a community that definitely would come and look after me and maybe even take turn, and they all much younger than me. So what I advice I would give you today is that, you know get some young friends, get some young friends, because believe it or not, when it really matter, they're going to come and look for you. They're the ones that are going to show up, because when you create a community where you are in service to your young friends, ultimately there are going to come a time when they're going to be in service to you. So I recommend that, get some young friends, um, have a clear idea of how you want to go through retirement, without the constant worry and strain of money. So, for instance, I have these options for living in Canada and living in Grenada. You may not have that option, but you may have a community center that you know very well, that you feel like, oh, it's time for me to go to this community center, or it's time for me to start helping out in a homeless shelter, and it's time for me to start volunteering in a soup kitchen. All those places you can build community and build, and start building from there. If it's yoga, oh, I'm going to go to yoga, so I'm going to meet some younger people in yoga, if that's up your alley. Or a dance class, you start taking a dance class, starting to get people to know people there. You just have to build that. Or in your work environment, be the person that the young people come to, be the person that people come to for advice, be the person that people come and talk to and ask questions to. Be that person, make yourself available to be that person, right? Be that, I don't know, it took me years to build the friends that I have, but somehow I have built the most beautiful friendship with people. And be kind to the people that you love. Give them from this space here. Give them from your heart. Be truthful with them and give them from this space. So the, if we take money out of the equation, which we cannot, it has to be in the equation because most of us, we need it. But if we can take it out of the equation and start doing some investigation, maybe in your environment, you might be able to seek out and really get to know what type of community you have. What kind of housing is in the community, what is available for you in that community at certain age, what you can get at certain age, as opposed to leaving it for happenstance, or as opposed to sitting in the negativity of it, right? Just go out there and do some research and make it playful and have some fun. Meet some people, talk to them, invite them out, have some tea, give them, share your wisdom. Dude, we are, like, do not take your wisdom for granted. Share it, be with it. Anyways, guys, I'm so happy that I've finished my 100 days of video and I'm continuing because, hey, that's what I set out to do. So thank you. Thank you for staying this late into watching my video. Don't forget to like and to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. That is really going to help me monitor my channel, and I really want to start asking you guys to subscribe so that I can get my, and look at my videos, because you looking at my videos, even if you look at my video in the background, because basically it's not like I'm showing you anything. You can just turn it on and listen to me. You don't have to look. So this is quite ideal. You can put on your earplug, you can listen to me while you're driving, you can listen to me at work, on a bad day, because you can listen to me anytime. You don't have to even sit and watch my videos. You can listen to me while you do your housework, while you cook in the kitchen. Dude, this is why I'm making these videos, so that you don't have to spend the time glued to watching me. You can just kind of put on your headphone and toot toot toot. You can run and listen to me, and this is all awesome. I am loving these pair of earrings. I think I'm going to wear them. I think they're going to become my favorite thing for the next couple months, because I keep losing the ones that is my favorite. Anyways, do less, be more, and I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me.